They started to enjoy the sweets together, but it was too early to tell. Remember, this is a control room. Although the crisis in the labyrinth is over, there are still many hardships around the world. Even Sae is still flying around to gather information, and all is not well. Yet, as if to say I have nothing to do with it anymore, Dino and his colleagues were taking it easy on others. The same was true for Pico and Gracia. No, it was worse. They were devouring the cake together, ignoring Dino's conversation. It's so good. There are 3 of them and I can have the other one, right? Pico, don't panic. This last one is the one I've been after. What are you talking about? I declared it first, so it's mine by right. An ugly fight broke out as they fought over the cake prepared by Shuna. Dino joined in the fight. Or rather, he was a party to it. Hey, that's not what's left, it's mine. You don't have any right to it. Dino shouted and rushed to get the cake for himself, but his insistence was not heeded. Friendship is powerless in the face of cake. The Tempest members were left with this thought. Benimaru looks at them and sighs. I love cakes myself, but this is terrible, he thought. I'm against spoiling a bad guy, Shuna, but please prepare another one for him. Benimaru was the first to give in. He thought that the conversation was not going to move forward. It was a terrible thing to say to Dino, but it could not be helped because he did not have the dignity of a demon lord. Shuna smiled and nodded. Unaware of this, Dino and the others continued to fight with each other, showing their true nature. Friendship is such a fragile thing. Although it was a cute fight compared to the global battle, the 3 were staring at each other, not willing to give an inch. The fight continued until Shuna came in with a new one. In the end, after finishing the cake, Dino and his friends agreed to join Benimaru. They seemed to realize that it would be foolish to disobey their brother Shuna, who is the authority over food. In any world, she who controls the kitchen is strong. And so, a temporary alliance was formed. I may look like this, but I'm a demon lord, and I was never bought off. That's right. We'll have to get at least 3 in a day. But we won't be able to eat this cake if the world dies. We have to cooperate with them. And so, a deal was made. After that, Dino and the others were to be hired by Tremors, but that would depend on the negotiations. Whatever the case may be, they will be hired only after protecting this world. The reason why they joined Benimaru's command was because they thought it would be the most efficient way. Like Diablo, Benimaru did not doubt their victory. They are trying to protect this cardinal world, believing that Rimuru will return. They are trying to protect this cardinal world on a global scale, beyond the framework of nations. Even Dino had to admit that it was a great feat for such a young man. Seeing Benimaru and the others, Dino also thought. Mai might come back safely, too, he thought. Dino did not expect that the earnest girl colleague would show the spirit of self-sacrifice. It is true that she helped him, but he could not repay her kindness. Dino was not satisfied with the situation, and decided to at least cooperate with Benimaru and his colleagues. Otherwise, he would never have made a move. Dino thinks. When Mai comes back, we should treat her to this cake. To do so, as Gracia had said, he needed to keep the peace in the world. Dino did not really want to work, but he thought what the heck. Mai Furuki was drifting in the unknown space beyond which she had jumped with all her might. Probably, it was the space between dimensions called subspace. She has lost the coordinates of her position because she has jumped disorderly from the labyrinth of Tremors. This was the result of the automatic adjustment of the viable space by Mai's authority, though they are lucky to be alive. Unaware of this, Mai was grateful for her good fortune. At the same time, for some reason, she had a craving for cake. Someone may have heard rumors about Mai, but why she remembered the cake is questionable. Cake was a rare luxury. Baked cheesecakes and pumpkin cakes were the mainstream, and shortcakes with fluffy sponges were never seen. There may have been some if you looked for them, but the sweet stores in the imperial capital were too expensive for Mai's salary. Yuki brought her sweet potatoes as a souvenir, and it is a secret that it was the best reward for me. Even Yuki-kan was killed by Jahal. Perhaps because he remembered Yuki for the last time, Mai was soaked in such sentimentality. When she was wandering in the empire without knowing anything, Yuki picked her up and took care of her. Since then, she has lived desperately, dreaming of the day when she can return to the world where she used to be. Now, she has stopped being human and has gained enough power to live in such a mysterious space without dying, but even so, Mai's wish has never been fulfilled. Mai has gained the ultimate skill Terra Mortelle, and now she knows more about reality. The probability of Mai being able to return to her original world is infinitesimally small. In theory, it is not impossible. The reason is that crossing the dimensional barrier requires an enormous amount of energy. Moreover, it requires complex and bizarre operations, and a huge amount of positional information on time and space. Mai was still in Vega's grasp. But she is not frightened. She knew that under the circumstances, she would not be killed immediately. What are you laughing at? Vega, who still had Mai in his hand, asked in a grim voice. Nothing. I just wanted to eat some cake. You look like you can afford it. You can't just run away by yourself, can you? Escape. That's impossible. You can't. Vega looked at Mai with an expression of incomprehension. Then he smiles as if his face is distorted and threatens Mai. If my body is killed, my body will have the ultimate skill evil Dragon King Azidahaka, right? If that happens, you'll be the first one I'll eat. If I do so, I will get Mai's instantaneous movement. Thinking that he would be stronger and would be able to return home, Vega smiled smugly. In fact, at this point, Vega's body had been destroyed. Vega has evil Dragon King Azidahaka in his body, but he is unaware of it. This is a very funny story, as it proves that Vega does not understand his own authority at all. Mai is unmoved by Vega's threats. I can't do it. Don't get smart with me. If you're talking about sealing my body without killing me. Oh, that's not what I'm worried about. Mai also considered this possibility. If the main body of Vega is killed, the evil dragon spawn in front of Mai will become the main body. Since she knows that, she might try to seal it. She thought so, but she denied his idea right after that. The reason is that it is highly dangerous. The rate of evolution of Vega is extraordinary. Considering this, she thought that it would be better to destroy it where it can be destroyed. In fact, that is what happened, and Mai's prediction was correct. And Mai's confidence was the same reason why she was made to understand that her wish would not be fulfilled. Is it a gamble whether you can take away my power or not? You fool. I'm sure of it. Mai also thought maybe so, but she remained silent and continued to say. But, I can't read location. But can you decipher the location information? What? To move in space, it is necessary to calculate coordinates. The coordinates of the current position and the location information of the teleport destination are required at the very least. If you kill me, you won't be able to get that information. Mai's power, the evolved Terra Martel, was also capable of space-time leap. However, as mentioned above, it requires a great deal of information. There is another method of leaping toward the wavelength of the target person, but it could not be traced if the person was in a different dimension. Even if the time axis, positional coordinates, and other information of the target point were known, if there was a dimensional wall separating them, Mai could not overcome it with her power. This is the reason why Mai gave up the idea of returning to the original world. In some cases, the wall can be overcome if the dimensions are adjacent to each other. However, since the height of the wall varies from dimension to dimension, there are cases where it is impossible, no matter how hard one tries. The only way out is to search for the underworld gate and repeat the dimensional search. Mai has an almost infinite lifespan, but even so, she can only conclude that it is impossible. The time axis of each dimension is different from the other. Moreover, the probability of arriving at the time and place of his beloved brother's life was so small as to be almost zero. In addition, Mai herself could not decipher the information of her current location, perhaps because she jumped as fast as she could. Of course, Vega could not understand it. What is it? I'm saying that without my cooperation, you won't be able to use my powers anyway. Mai's intention is to delay Vega's decision if he is strong-armed. In fact, she succeeds. To begin with, Vega could not say that he had mastered even the ultimate skill evil Dragon King Azidahaka. As Mai said, even if he took away Mai's power from Vega, it would be a waste of his treasure. But Vega cannot do anything. I don't think I can handle complicated powers. But, what am I going to do? He didn't like the idea of Mai licking him like this, and killing Mai and taking away her power would be meaningless if he were stuck in this situation. Vega was not sure. At this point, he and Mai would be left alone in this unknown subspace. He would have to rely on Mai to jump from this point. They would have to wait for Mai to recover her energy, and then space-time leap at random. In such a case, they have to cooperate with Mai, and they have to check her mood every time. To tell the truth, Vega thought it would be a hassle. If he had continued to think about it for a long time, he would have ended up with the conclusion that he would eat Mai. But, however, Vega lost his chance before he could find the answer. What? Oh, no, what? Was it Mai who realized it first, or was it Vega? A powerful and unparalleled space-time storm had suddenly appeared on this spot. The laws of subspace are beyond human knowledge. It is unknown whether or not we will be able to get caught in the space-time storm and survive. We'd better run away. I don't need to be told. Vega could not finish the sentence. Mai was no different, for a new space-time storm was brewing, centered on Vega, who was now exuding more and more power. Kaya. Whoa. It was the main current of energy, so powerful and unmatched that there was no way to resist it. Vega's hand was off Mai. It was an opportunity, but Mai was not ready for it. As soon as Mai was caught in the vortex of space-time, even her consciousness, which is a spiritual life form, became dazed. You told me not to give up, I'm sorry, Yuki-kun. Mai let go of her consciousness. At that moment, the sky storm had passed, and Vega was patiently surviving. Cuckoo, it was nothing. They say you forget the heat of the moment, and Vega was just like that. That's why he repeats the same mistake over and over again without any remorse. I lost my. She might be dead now after being hit by such a powerful rush of energy. Vega thought that it was a pity that he could not take away Mai's power, though he did not care if she died. The fact that he let go of Mai was an unshakable proof of that. There was a place where no one knew. There was nothing there. No sea, no sky. There was no heaven or earth, no top or bottom. Ah. Vega finally realized his position. In that place, not even a star shone. There was no light, so there was no color. Nothing existed. It was complete nothingness. Hey. Vega finally realizes that this is not good. Because there is nothing, there is no indicator. He realized that he was completely alone. There is nothing to do. Hey, wait. What's going on? Is there anyone else here, you son of a... Fear turns to anger. What the hell did I do? Vega barks into the empty void. He shouts with all his might. But no one responds. Since there is no one, he cannot bluster. Don't you dare lick me. I am the immortal Vega. The strongest and immortal in the whole world. After shouting that much, Vega suddenly felt empty. He was afraid. Yes, Vega is immortal. He remembered that. Hey, wait a minute. He tried to make a big explosion around himself as if to release all his energy. But nothing changed. Vega was successfully resurrected. And in time, everything was back to normal. Vega had its boastful, inexhaustible energy. So no matter how much energy he released, it would come back inexhaustible. It is the result of eating insect Lord Zelanus. Nowadays, Vega resents this. After all, Vega's body is immortal and its energy is never exhausted. It means that he can't even kill himself. What? No way, wait. No one could hear his voice of resentment. And then it turns into a lament. In that lonely, empty place, unable to even finish himself, Vega bites his own stupidity. Alone and lonely, forever and ever.